everyone, from Brother Thomas More Stadium. St. Xavier High School, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, and Todd Powers bringing you another night of St. X Tiger football. Tigers got on the good side of the scoring column last week with a 61-6 This has turned into really a fun series over the years. Tigers only lost one time in this series, but we've had some really competitive games, excluding last year's 42-7 Tiger win.
Yeah, John, we've seen great ones, and we've seen games that come down to the end. We've been down to Central, had good games here, good games there. Beautiful night for football, so we're expecting a Central team who comes in here 3-1 tonight. They lost last week by 7 at Ballard, to come in and do what they do every year, play the big boys out of district and be competitive. And, boy, there's a few years talking about this series that Central should have pulled the game out, that the Tigers did pull it out.
And Central did win that one game in this series, 38-game series, 2015, 20-17. I remember that. You weren't there. It was a rainy night, wet ball all night long. Desmond Ritter, who's now starring at the University of Cincinnati, had a couple of fumbles early in the game, and Central got the lead, and their defense just held on to knock off the Tigers. Tigers won it 42-7 last year, but you mentioned it. They did it under Coach Ty Scroggins, and now they're doing it under Coach Marvin Dantzler. They'll play as many 6A teams as they can play. They played Manual already. They played Fern Creek, who's 5A. They played Ballard. They'll play PRP at the end of the year. They just want to play the best competition they can play and get ready for the playoffs.
Well, and it's helped them over the years. A lot of state championships down there at Central over the last 10 years. And that's one of the reasons why. It's not the only reason why. They have good talent. They have good coaching. But it helps. So when they play in their district in 3A, they're always one of the top 5 teams that come in, and that helps them every year. Came up short last year, and they're expecting to go back to the state championship this year.
They opened the season with an 18-0 shutout of the Manual Crimsons. A little surprising, Manual without their quarterback, Zach Rechtenwald. He was injured right before the season opener, so that really hurt the Crimsons. But they haven't lost since that shutout to Central. They went on to shut out Western 61-0, and then beat Fern Creek, a pretty good Fern Creek team, 25-6. Key tonight, I think, Tony, is to get on top of this team, because you don't want to be playing from behind against the Central Yellow Jackets.
No, you don't. But one thing Central does not do really well is throw the ball. Now, they have great quickness if they get the ball to guys that can break plays. So Tiger defense, I think, tonight will control this game. If you're a Tiger fan, that's what you hope for. But, it's a Central team that has played great defense. Besides for Ballard,
yeah.
They turned the ball over to lose that game last week, and you really expect Central to be ready to go tonight. They always are, and it'd be interesting how the Tigers fare.
Tigers are 1-2 after that win over Fairdale last week. They opened the season with 2 losses by 3 points, 19-16 at DeSales to start the year, then 24-21 in overtime right here against a really impressive Bowling Green team. But those are 2 games, if you go back and Kevin Wallace goes back and looks at them, 2 games you feel like you should have won.
Yeah, very easily the Tigers could be 3-0 at this point. They had the 14-0 lead on Bowling Green in the first half. Good Bowling Green team. It came back. It came down to a penalty and maybe a missed kick, different things. And that's why the Tigers lost. They came to the sales game. It was just they were in a bad situation, did not capitalize when they should have. So easily, but as my dad would always say to me in all sports, these games are practice games. Nobody believes that, because when you look at you get the paper and the alumni see it. But Coach Wallace is building this thing along, John, and people have to be patient, and I think there's going to be great results at the end. Now, Tigers are banged up tonight.
We do have to talk about injuries. Anthony Moretti left the game last week after getting dinged up, and we actually said on the air, it looks like he got dinged up a little bit. Nothing came of it. He didn't come back in the game. It was a rout against Fairdale. But Sunday he started showing concussion symptoms. So he is in concussion protocol, will not play tonight. So they'll go to a bit of a 2-headed monster at running back.
Yeah, Logan Davis, who had a really nice game last week, he had 6 carries for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And a guy that I saw last year on the JV team that I was impressed with, I think he has a big future. Miles Harris is the other guy. He's a senior. He's played a lot in the slot, but they try to give him the ball. So I think we'll see Logan Davis and Miles Harris together. I think it's 2 good players. They're going to get an opportunity.
At the quarterback position, Douglas Bodine will get the start tonight. Got the win over Fairdale last week. As far as Keegan Sullivan's concerned, he had a little ankle injury late in the Bowling Green game. He is available tonight. He could go. I know Kevin Wallace, in a perfect world, doesn't want to have to put Keegan Sullivan in this game. Again, these are practice games till you get to district play, which is next week against PRP.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I hope Douglas plays well. He played well last week against Fairdale. This is a better team than Fairdale. He rushed for 94 yards, and he threw for, had it there, 176. So a total of 270 yards last week. So a guy that's getting his feet wet each time was thrown into the sales game, kind of unfairly. But he has an opportunity to do good things. And as long as the Tigers do what they want to do tonight, we won't see Keegan Sullivan.
One guy that Bodine won't be throwing it to tonight is Andre Coleman, and he's been the big play guy on the offense as far as throwing the football to the receiver down the field and letting him, he's made a couple of great moves, but he's an ankle injury, not dressed out, won't play tonight.
And I think Andre Coleman's a guy they want to get the ball to more. He's caught 4 passes for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 49 yards a catch. And in my book, John, I'm going to keep getting it to a guy that's getting 49 yards a play.
Grant Goodman will get the start tonight. The sophomore has shown us a lot tonight, not only running routes and pass catching, but Goodman's the guy they put back there to return punts.
Yeah, he's a great athlete as a sophomore, 4 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown. But he has a nice dimension. He has really good speed. He has decent size. A guy that I really like, and you'll see him get the ball. And then you have Bryson Harkins out there. You have Eric Lyons, 2 guys I think you'll see Desmond Andrews-Abagu getting the ball tonight. So they'll try to mix it up. I think the Tigers would love this to be balanced, but it still comes down to one thing, John. To win football games, it's the offensive line. I think the offensive line's getting better, but they're going to have to improve as the year goes on.
The JVs and freshmen played Central this week. The JV game actually was moved over here to St. X because after that deluge of rain last weekend, the Central field was not ready on Monday, and St. X came away with a 21-13 win over the JV Yellow Jackets. And then last night at Central, St. X freshmen dominant early, 42-14 was the final score over Central. Both freshmen and JV teams will play tomorrow at Cincinnati Moeller. The freshmen play at 11. And the JVs will be immediately following at 1 o'clock. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, head up to Cincinnati, watch the Tigers against Cincinnati Moeller. We'll take a break, come back with more. Check out some of the other games in town tonight. It is a full slate of football.
Pretty good. I got the chance to talk with Andre Coleman. He thought that he'd be back next week. Anthony Moretti was still, muttering nothings. But he should be okay. Keegan Sullivan is dressed and could play if we need. And
Keegan Sullivan's a guy that's dying to play. Am I right?
Yeah. And so I would expect a big game out of Bryson Harkins, a big game out of Des Andrews Obogu, and I think a big game out of the St. X defense.
Hey Jim, you got pretty good weather down there.
Oh, it is absolutely beautiful out here. I mean, I really invite you out here for the Butler game to maybe step out of that press box, and sit out here and enjoy the weather.
Thanks for listening to 790 KRD.
Kevin, are we on or not? Hello, studio. Can you hear me?
He must not hear us.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, are we on?
Yes.
Well, I love it when did you hear Jim, Kevin? I got to ask you if you heard Jim Brinkman from the field, because maybe that's the problem.
No, I did not hear him.
Okay, we'll have to fix that at the break. All right, the captains are out on the field. Miles Harris, Tony, now, he is a guy that's going to have to fill in for Moretti tonight, and he is going to be one of the co-captains out there. Between him and Logan Davis, it's got to be a two-headed monster that sort of fills in as one person for Anthony Moretti tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing that Anthony Moretti got to do last year, and he got to come in and go in for Brett Metzmeyer, and he got to excel. So same opportunity for these guys tonight. They get an opportunity to carry the football as they walk out to midfield with the captains Patrick Owen, Harrison Pate, Miles Harris, and Anthony Moretti, who's not dressed. But, John, next man up. You hear it all the time, but it's the truth.
We'll take a break. Come back with the opening kickoff. St. X and Central. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. and Western. So Coach Marvin Dantzler's team coming in here hot. Right now, our national anthem. National anthem, and we are ready for kickoff. Tigers won the coin toss. Jim Brinkman, they deferred. I was surprised. The Tigers deferred, and I was a little surprised, Jimmy.
Yeah, same thing as last week against Fairdale. I think Coach McCormick really loves getting his defense on the field. I know I gave him a high five there, and he's pretty excited. Defensive coaches love to hit people first.
And great weather tonight, Tony. And I thought the Tigers, a game like this, you want to get on Central early.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers have so much confidence in their defense. And with a young quarterback, I think it's good maybe if the defense can get a stop, keep them pinned down, and get good field position. Because, as we know, you hear it every time you listen to a game, turnovers and field position are the two big things.
So Jeff Sexton will kick it away for St. X. 2 or 3 guys go deep for the Central Yellow Jackets. The deepest is Ukari Baker. We remember that name from last year, the senior wide receiver. He is really, really, really fast, and he'll stand back at about the 5-yard line. Quintez Payton, Micah Williams are also part of that three-headed monster down between the 5 and the 10-yard line. Sexton approaches, kicks it high, not going to get to the end zone. And it's going to be taken by Baker at about the 6. Heads to the left hash mark, around the left end across the 20, stops at the 26, and he's dropped right there. Sam Borman up off the bottom of that pile, the Tiger safety, and Central will start 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. The quarterback is Malik Goodall, senior, and this is a team wants to run the football.
They do, John. They've got some guys, and you'll see Mackay Williams. He'll get the ball most of the times, or Goodall will keep it.
Mackay Williams in the backfield, pistol formation. And the quarterback keeper right up the middle across the 30. He has hit at the 31 and dropped right there. That's Borman again coming up. Got some help from Varga. It's a gain of about 5. 2nd down and 5 for the Yellow Jackets.
And just what we talked about, Goodall and Williams are the guys that are going to carry the ball most of the time. And Goodall, the quarterback, just goes right behind Williams and goes through the off right tackle.
Jack Vargas, the nose tackle to start it out. Richard and Alex Bascom, the brothers on the end. We'll give you the rest of the defense after the 2nd and 5 play. Williams with Baker in motion, takes a snap. This time it's a give up the middle. Dropped right short of the 1st down marker across the 35 is Mackay Williams. Tigers linebackers to start tonight, Michael Houlihan, co-captain Patrick Owen, Cameron Sams, and Hale Bowler. The defensive backs, safeties are Borman and Jude Carlin, and the corners, Desmond Andrews Ogbagu and Harrison Pate.
Well, John, it's 3rd and 1 from their own 36 Central. And one thing you don't want, if you're the Tigers tonight, to have Sam Borman and Jude Carlin making a lot of tackles, and they've made the first 2.
Goodall goes to the sideline, gets the play, and now he sets up in an empty backfield, 5 wide. He's going to run the football, folks, unless somebody goes in motion. Takes a snap. It's a quarterback draw right up the middle. He is hit at the 1st down marker and fights forward to get a couple of yards and the 1st down Patrick Owens saw it early, came through, tried to make the hit at the 36, but could not stop him from getting the first down.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a draw play. I don't think it fooled anybody, but Tiger linebackers. Owen got there, couldn't keep him from getting it. Sams comes in and helps him. So first down, Central from their own 38-yard line.
Break the huddle, Goodall in the shotgun. He's got Makai Williams with him. 2 receivers to the left, Baker alone to the right. Make it 3 receivers to the left, no tight end. Goodall takes the snap, high snap. He'll pull it down, run left, being chased out of there by Bascom, and he's going to be tackled by Patrick Owen and Richard Bascom for the sack back at the 31-yard line. Loss of about 6 or 7 on the play, second and long.
Well, Richard Bascom was chasing him from one side of the field to the other. The bobble gave him a chance to chase him, and as he's chasing him, Patrick Owen, who the leading tackler for the Tigers and a super football player from sideline to sideline, gets there first, and the Jackets lose 7 on the play.
Second down and 17 as they move it all the way back to the 31-yard line. Malcolm Hayes, the big tight end, comes wide to the right. 2 receivers to the left, that's the short side of the field, and 2 backs in the backfield with Goodall, who wants to throw. Straight drop, throws left, is caught near the 40 and dropped immediately by Ukari Baker. Harrison Pate makes the tackle. Good yardage on 2nd and 17 to the 41. It's a gain of 10. We'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Well, Baker's got 16 catches on the year for 276 yards. He's their main guy, and he's got 2 touchdowns. So the Jackets get some of it back on 2nd down. And like you said, John, they had the ball at their own 41, 3rd and 7.
Baker comes wide to the right. That's the wide side of the field. 3 receivers to the left. Williams in the backfield with Goodall. Takes a snap. He's going to run it to the right. Tries to get outside. The last man is Agbagu, and he won't let him get there. Got some help late from Patrick Owen, but Dez played that one very, very well, because if Goodall gets around Agbagu, Tony, he's got a lot of room.
Yeah, and Goodall's carried the ball 61 times and Williams 70, so great job, though, on the outside here, because he's got great quickness. You can see that. He looks like he's going to bounce it, but Desmond Andrews Agbagu stays on his outside shoulder, gets help. Now Central has about their own 40. 4th and 8, getting ready to attempt to punt it away.
And Ukari Baker, the leading receiver, will kick it away. Grant Goodman, the sophomore, deep for the Tigers. Gets it out of there high off the side of his foot and bounces near the St. X sideline and then takes a central bounce back toward the middle of the field, and it'll roll dead at the 31-yard line. 29-yard kick. Turned out pretty good for Ukari Baker. I certainly didn't think when it was in the air it was going to be that far.
No, he kicked it straight up in the air, and boy, the Jackets almost got a huge break because that ball hit by the sideline and went almost to the hash marks, and Luke Weekley was just running down the field, and the ball almost hit him, John. So Tigers get decent field position at their own 31 on their first drive of the night, no score.
7:44 to go, first quarter. Douglas Bodine in at quarterback. He'll start with his team in the shotgun. Zach Johnson to his right, Miles Harris to his left. So already a different starting lineup than we saw on paper. We expected Logan Davis to get the start for Moretti. Instead, Bodine will keep it. He faked it to Harris, went right up the gut, no gain. Hit and dropped by Braxton Young, the linebacker, the sophomore, 2nd and 10.
And, John, I will expect that's the read option play, and Bodine does not give it to Miles, and he keeps it for no gain, but Central's going to make the Tigers throw it. When you have a young quarterback, I know he threw it well against Fairdale last week, but you got to make him throw it, and that's what the Jackets got. 10 guys within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Bodine, the 6'1", 171-pound junior, has got 3 receivers in the pattern. In motion comes Goodman from right to left. Straight drop from Bodine, drops it to Miles Harris on the screen, and he's not going to get much. A couple, maybe 3. Out near the 34. They'll spot it at the 33-yard line. Gain of 2. Set up well, but just a good tackle from Darrell Howard. It's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, the offensive linemen have to get out quicker than that. It took him a long time, and if he gets 1 or 2 blocks, he's probably gone, but the offensive line's got to do a better job of getting to those guys so Tigers put themselves in 3rd and long.
Bryson Harkins and Eric Lyons go wide to the left. That's the wide side. 2 receivers to the right as well. Harris in the backfield with Bodine. Bodine straight drop. 4-man rush. Has time. Looking left. Now it breaks down and he's sacked. A coverage sack that time for the Yellow Jackets. Ben Johnson comes in and makes the hit back inside the 30. They'll spot it at the 27, and the Tigers will go 3 and out.
Didn't look good on that possession either. A read option that gets nothing, a screen that should have got more that didn't, and then a sack. So 3 and out for the Tigers.
Good protection that time for Bodine. He had plenty of time, just couldn't find anybody open. Ukari Baker, Quintez Payton are deep.
Austin Teggy
will kick it away and gets it out of there off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce near midfield, takes a big Tiger roll inside the 40, still going, and it'll die at the 34-yard line. 39-yard kick and no return. So 2 bad punts, but they both with pretty good results.
Yeah, John, that ball, it's not a good punt, but boy, when it rolls another 25 yards, it makes it a good kick. So Central's going to get their second possession at their own 34-yard line. No score here early in the football game. Crowd working its way in on a beautiful night here at St. X High School.
And the rage cage finally filling up a little bit. Patriotic night. So there's flags, a lot of red, white, and blue down there. 1st and 10 Central, 5:39 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Malik Goodall with his second possession out of the shotgun, wants to throw on first down. Pressure up the middle, gets out of it, throws high and deep down the left side, and it is caught but out of bounds, I believe. Oh, they're going to give him the catch? Wow. They give him the catch all the way down to the St. X 32-yard line. Dalquan Beeson, the senior, makes the catch, and that time Goodall was pressured, stepped up into the pocket, and had all day.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell on the replay. It was really close, but Harrison Pate cannot break down coverage and come up and let the guy run by him, and just a kind of a mental mistake there, and Central gets a big play down to the Tiger 32.
Empty backfield on 1st and 10. Baker in motion from left to right. The snap hit him in the foot. It's on the ground and still loose. And I think the Tigers got it. One of the big offensive linemen tried to pick it up, and instead Cameron Sams fell on it. And that's a miscommunication because Baker was in motion, Tony. And as he went behind the center, the snap came and hit him right in the leg.
Yeah, John, one of those plays where timing means everything, and it did not work out for the Jackets after they get the big play. They give it right back to the Tigers at their own 34-yard line.
So first turnover of the night for either team, and the Tigers will set up for their second possession at their own 34.
And, John, I think you'll see the Tigers come out maybe for a quick slant here, because that if they go play action and throw that little slant, Central's coming hard, and they're in man coverage.
4 receivers in the pattern here. Bodine in the shotgun with, I believe, Miles Harris behind him.
It is.
And Harris will get the call off the left tackle. He's tripped up as he gets out to the 40-yard line, gain of 6 on the play. Benjamin Bush, the junior, made the tackle. Offensive line for the Tigers, left to right. No Parham, Knable is the center, Hummel and Brown. Zach Johnston got the start at tight end. Tigers go 2 tight ends here with Jalen Borho and Zach Johnston on 2nd down and 4. Bodine will give it to Harris again. This time he's running right or flying on the play, and he is tripped up. That's going to be an illegal formation. Now, if you're Marvin Dantzler, you either have a 3rd and 5 for the Tigers or you take the penalty and make it 2nd and 9. What do you do?
I go 2nd and 9, John. Anytime you back them up right now. 5 yards is very gettable.
Head referee Tommy Weber makes the call. Tommy Weber in his 79th season. Or maybe it just seems that way.
He did
your games.
When I was 1981 graduate, he was doing our games. But, John, it's quiet in here.
Yeah.
Tigers don't look very fired up. It's just one of those games. They got to get some emotion here and get something going. No score here with 4:50 left in the first quarter.
Crowd just kind of sitting on their hands. They decline the penalty, which I kind of agree with. I give St. X 2 shots to get 9 yards when you can give them 1 to get 5 yards. 3rd and 5. Goodman and Johnston to the right. Harkins and Lyons to the left. Bodine in the shotgun. Harris back there with him. 4 at the line of scrimmage for the Jackets. Now in motion goes Harris out of the backfield. They fake it to him. They throw the inside screen to the receiver who's got some room. It's Goodman across the 50 and inside the 45-yard line before he's tripped up. Well-designed play, a little wide receiver screen. He looped around, caught the pass, got a couple of blocks out in front of him, Tony, and a big gain on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Zach Johnston got his guy just a little bit, but he shielded him, and I believe that's Evan Brown that got out there and did a nice job on the block. But Central's playing a one deep safety, and they're playing man everywhere else. So you look and see where the safety's at, show him that side, and play man on the other side.
1st and 10 Tigers, first trip into Central territory at the 44. Bodine brings Johnson from the right tight end to the left tight end. Now he'll give it to Harris up the middle, tripped up, got a yard, maybe 2. Coming through again, that linebacker, Ben Johnson, listed as a running back on our roster, but that's his second hit near the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1.
And here comes Keegan Sullivan, John.
Wow, that was quick.
I think what they're looking at is we're going to be able to throw the ball against these guys. And with Doug Bodine in the game, he's not really a thrower. Now, Keegan Sullivan, his guy, who's he got on the top, John, in man coverage? That's the guy they should look for.
Grant Goodman is on the short side of the field, one-on-one, 3 receivers to the left. 2nd and 9. Sullivan throws it. He's got Harkins on the slant, 35-30. Just a little in route from Bryson Harkins there, Tony, and he takes it down to the 26, a gain of 17, and a 1st down for the Tigers.
Like what they did, Sullivan comes in the game, he gets rid of it quickly. Slant that I asked for earlier, they throw it, it's there. And I'm serious, the coaches go, look, if we put Keegan in the game, we'll throw the ball over the place on him, and we'll see what happens. But we talked about it, John. Keegan Sullivan, he's got that broken thumb on his non-throwing hand, and you just got to make sure you protect him.
6'2", 179-pound senior. Coach Kevin Wallace told me off the air this week that he was very impressed by the way Sullivan handled the football against Bowling Green with that big cast on his left thumb. 1st and 10, here's Harris on the carry. Right side, big hole. Cuts inside at the 20, dropped at the 19, gain of 7 yards. And that hole opened up big on the right side, Tony. Brown, I think, got a great kick-out block and opened the hole. It is 2nd down and short. Whistle and a timeout called by Central. We'll take one as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. At the 19, 2nd down and 3, Keegan Sullivan, who came in midway through this series, back in there, gives it to Harris, and there's nothing there. Loss of a yard to the 20. And the problem, Tony, Central knows as well, Keegan Sullivan's not going to run the football. So the read option is not really an option, it's a handoff.
Well, it's more of a kind of an RPO. It's a fake and throw it quickly. You don't have to use the run part with the quarterback, but you got to make that read and get it out quickly.
3rd and 4, Goodman wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Shotgun for Sullivan. Takes a snap. Fake it to Harris, wants to throw, does throw. He's got Johnston off the tight end spot. He's got a 1st down inside the 15. He is a load to try to bring down in the open field. 6'3", 215. And he was running downhill there, Tony.
Well, what they did, John, is they took the 2 receivers, ran the guys out, and then brought him out of the kind of the H-back spot and just cleared the area out and got him the football. Now Tigers have a 1st down at the Central 12-yard line. No score here in the 1st quarter.
It was a gain of 8 on 3rd and 4. Sullivan set up in the shotgun. Gives it to Harris running right. He's got some room to the outside. Gets a block from Goodman at the 5 and fights his way down near the goal line. Almost got in but didn't. They're going to spot it at the 1. Gain of 11. Hard running from Miles Harris there. Tigers in the green zone, brought to you by the Eye Care Institute, Dr. Brennan Green.
Greg Goodman doing a good job blocking, and I think if Miles Harris would have been a little more patient, not ran up his back, he would have got in. But, boy, Miles Harris just carried about 3 guys about 4 yards down to the 1-yard line. Just inside 2 minutes left here in the 1st quarter, Tigers had the ball at the 1-yard line of the Yellow Jackets.
Will Motley comes in at receiver. He and Goodman are wide to the left. Under center, and this is tricky, Tony. Oh, well, Bodain's back in. He's under center. He'll keep it, runs right, and he's in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. I couldn't imagine Keegan Sullivan taking a snap from under center with that club on his left thumb.
Yeah, and the easy part about that was Bodain had already been in the game, so he was already in the flow of it. Tigers go under center. They get a touchdown with 1:31 left in the first quarter. Tigers lead 6-0. Jeff Sexton coming on to attempt the extra point.
Jude Carlin will snap it. It took a while, but the Tigers get on the board on their second drive. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 Tigers. We'll keep it right here with 1:31 to go in the first quarter. Jim Brinkman, what do you think led to the decision to bring Keegan Sullivan into this game?
Well, that all comes down to coaching. On the very first offensive play, Coach Wallace was not happy with everything that was going on. You know, with the offense, they were obviously not doing something that they had practiced. So he was, visually upset on our offensive and the execution. Guys, more importantly, Bryson Harkins is up on the trainer table there. When Zach Johnson caught that little screen pass over to the left side, he actually got tackled and fell into the back of the left leg on Bryson Harkins. So that means both of our starting wideouts are hurt right now.
We will keep an eye on that. Thank you, Jimmy. Kick taken at the 2. An over-the-shoulder catch from Williams. He gets across the 15 and across the 20. Great job of running by Mekhi Williams. He had to go backwards and catch the kickoff over his shoulder at the 2-yard line. Was able to get it out to the 22. That's where Central will start 1st and 10 with 1:24 to go here in the first quarter.
Charlie Filzenegger on the tackle. So see if Central can answer the Tigers here. 7-0 Tigers on a beautiful night again here from Brother Thomas More Stadium and Paul M. Young Field.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. Take a picture of that sunset, will you, Tom?
Yes, I will, John.
I appreciate that. 1st and 10 as Malik Goodall brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Senior quarterback. He's got Mekhi Williams to his left, and he will give it to, now he keeps it. Faked it to Williams, hit by Sams in the backfield, busted out of it. James Taylor comes up from the corner to make a hit, and Borman finishes off Goodall, who does a great job. There is a flag down at the 24-yard line. Goodall was able to get all the way out to the 27. Cam Sams hit him in the backfield, Tony, but just couldn't bring him down. It's a block in the back, or holding, against the Jackets.
Well, it was a play where he was going inside and there wasn't anything there. And when he bounced it, Cameron Sams got a hold of him. But, boy, Goodall shows great quickness there. I mean, he got to that outside in a hurry. James Taylor did a nice job of slowing him down, and then he got the help. But it's all for naught because it's going to come back on a penalty for holding against the Jackets.
And it'll be half the distance. I think they'll move it down to about the 12-yard line, and they'll put it on the 13. So it'll be 1st and 19 for the Yellow Jackets now. And if you're Central and you're Marvin Dantzler and you're Malik Goodall, Tony, you can't be behind the chains.
No, John, they threw the long pass early, but they are a running team.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Wanting to throw, throwing quickly to the left is Goodall right near the sideline. Good hard running that time by the receiver. Caught by Dalquan Beeson, the sophomore. He gets across the 15 and fought his way out near the 18-yard line. So a gain of 5. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Tigers lead at 7-0. 2nd and 14 coming up.
Well, Tiger first guy there was James Taylor, the corner on the outside, and then got some help from his friends Patrick Owen and a few other guys. So Central has themselves 2nd and 19 from their own 18-yard line. Tigers lead 7-0 here, late first quarter.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Williams in the backfield. Goodall fakes it to him, rolls right. Has a little time. Now he cuts back to the center of the field. He's got a lot of room. First down across the 30, 35. Hit, fights off that tackle to midfield, and finally pushed out of bounds. Well, you got to keep contained, Tony. He stepped up into the pocket, and when he did, there was nobody there. Goodall gets all the way down to the 47-yard line of St. X. That is a gain of 35 yards.
And when Patrick Owen thought he had him out in space, and it was one-on-one, and he didn't even touch Goodall because Goodall made it just a quick move, never broke stride, and got the ball, like you said, all the way down to the Tiger 47-yard line, and 34 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Central gets out of the hole.
Big play by the quarterback. We talked about it in the open. They've got a lot of speed, and they're not afraid to use it. And the Tiger linebackers, they went with some receivers, and it was wide open. Goodall in the shotgun. He's got Williams with him. And this time he'll give it to Williams, running left. Not much there. Hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back.
Carried by number 9, Mekhi Williams.
It is Robert Andrioli and Brendan Petrie, the backup nose tackles, combined on the tackle. No gain, 2nd and 10. And I think that's going to do it for the first quarter. It is. We'll take a break. Tigers lead Central 7-0 after 12 minutes. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Douglas Bodine started at quarterback. Then we had a lot of Keegan Sullivan, and then Bodine came in for the 1-yard run to give the Tigers a 7-0 lead. Central's got the ball in St. X territory at the 47, 2nd and 10 as we start the second quarter. They're on the left hash mark. One receiver that way in a full house backfield. Now man in motion to the right. Now he goes back over to the left. I think they're going to run to the left here. I could be wrong. The quarterback or the running back, somebody went the wrong way. Goodall does a great job to get a couple yards to the 45-yard line, but he turned to hand it off to Williams, and Williams had gone the other way.
Well, 3 guys went the other way, so I'm going to guess I know who went the wrong way. And sometimes as a quarterback, that's a bad feeling when you turn around and you've gone the wrong way. But he does get a couple positive yards out of it. But from over on Shelbyville Road, midway through the second quarter, the Red Hawks from Naperville are leading Trinity 10-0.
11:26 to go here in the first quarter. Big third down here for the Jackets. 3rd and 8 from the Tiger 45-yard line. They send DeAndre Howard wide to the right. Now in motion out of the backfield. Full house backfield. They hand it to Williams. Chasing him was Petrie. Couldn't catch him. He won't get the first down. He'll get about 3 to the 42-yard line. Will bring up a 4th and 5. Borman came up to make the hit. Brendan Petrie got through quickly and just couldn't chase down the jackrabbit that is Mekhi Williams.
Well, Tigers did a nice job of flowing with the play, too, to make that a kind of a gang tackle. So now Central puts themselves in 4th and 5 from the Tiger 42. Tigers lead 7-0.
Jackets will go here, or at least they'll set up to go. Tigers have to stay on side on 4th and 5. 2 receivers to the left. Howard and Baker, 2 to the right as well. Looking over the middle, throwing over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Sams wanted the interception, but they have a few more yards because he didn't catch it. Tigers hold on 4th down. They'll take over at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, John, a big play, but boy, if Sams doesn't hit that, Bowman might intercept that ball, and there's a lot of green, but it doesn't matter in that situation. It was 4th down, and now Tigers will take over.
Great job by the Tiger defense after the big 35-yard run from Malik Goodall got the Jackets into St. X territory. That's about all they got.
And, John, Douglas Bodine comes in at quarterback for the Tigers. I'm going to say I think you're going to see play action down the field, but I'm going to change that with Bodine in the game.
Grant Goodman, the sophomore, Will Motley to the right on 1st and 10. Miles Harris is the tailback. We haven't seen Logan Davis yet, but we will. Bodine takes a snap. Give it to Harris, running left and runs into a couple of Yellow Jackets. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Coming up from his defensive back spot, William Marshall, the junior, makes the hit. And it is second down and 10 for the Tigers.
Well, I saw what Coach Sullivan, Keegan Sullivan was about 2 inches from Coach Wallace, and he said, I know he looked at him and said, look, they're in man coverage. Get me back in the game. He sent him back in the game.
4 receivers in the pattern, Harris in the backfield. Sullivan will now, with all 10 of his teammates, look to the sideline for the new call. Harris moves from the right of Sullivan to his left as Keegan takes the snap. Straight drop. Looks to throw, wants to throw deep. Now he drops it off, incomplete. Hit as he threw. Was looking for Eric Lyons short. And got hit as he let it go, and it fell to the turf. There's a flag down on the play in the defensive backfield, and the Tigers are clapping.
Well, John, if it's defensive holding, that happens a lot when you're in man coverage. You know it's a pass, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's exactly what referee Tommy Weber tells us.
And I'm trying to explain to everybody, they play one safety about 20 yards off the ball. The other defensive backs are all straight up at the line of scrimmage within 2 to 3, 4 yards, and they're playing man coverage. So Central stacking everybody else on the inside, trying to take the run away, and it gives the Tiger receivers a chance to run.
And Keegan does a good job of looking the safety off, too, making him go to the side that he doesn't want to throw the ball to.
He did. He had good protection last time.
1st and 10. After the penalty, here's a handoff up the middle, nothing there. Tiger offensive line just got to do a better job of attacking the defensive line. Harris got back to the line of scrimmage, which is now the Central 48, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and give Central, they got some big guys up front, and they're doing a good job of holding the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers move really well with the ball. So see what the Tigers do here, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jacoby Doherty, number 90, big dude.
Big dude.
Senior. Sullivan in the shotgun. He got Harris with him. Johnston slotted to the left. 3 receivers in the pattern. Play action, wanting to throw, being chased. Throws it back to Harris, who wasn't expecting it. He was running toward Keegan Sullivan to try to maybe block somebody, and all of a sudden the ball was right in his breadbasket. It's going to be a loss all the way back to the 44-yard line. Loss of 8 on the play.
And I think actually Sullivan was just trying to get rid of the football, and he threw it at Miles Harris, and I don't know how Miles Harris caught it anyway, and then he had nowhere to go because the Jackets were all over the place.
That was a
swarm of Jackets.
Interesting-looking play for sure. 3rd and 18 for the Tigers. 8:20 to go. First half. St. X leads it 7-0. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Johnston stays in to block. Keegan wants to throw. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. What an athletic play, and gone to the end zone is Quintez Payton. It was tipped by the Tiger receiver and intercepted by Payton, and the Jackets are a extra point away from scoring.
Yeah, Grant Goodman ran a kind of a slant across the middle. The ball was a little high, but went right through his hands, and
one-handed interception.
It did. It slowed it down to where he came up and just reached behind him with one hand, and then there was nobody but Green out on the field, and Central answers with 7:57 left in the first half, and 7-6 Tigers with the extra point coming.
That's a 54-yard interception return for Quintez Payton.
And John, I believe Reggie White, the kicker, is a straight-on kicker.
And the other thing, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage as well. The kick is up and good. It's 7-7. 7:57 to go first half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. In motion from right to left is Goodman. Bodine wants to throw, looking, has all day, throws it short to Harris, and he is creamed at the 44-yard line. No, that is Motley, excuse me. Will Motley with the catch, and he is slow to jog off the field. And that time, Doug Bodine threw him in a bad spot.
Yeah, Bodine's looking around, and you got to see that defender, and he just hung him out to dry. And it's kind of interesting what the Tigers are doing offensively. Now they take Bodine back out, and they bring Keegan Sullivan back in. 7-7 here from St. X High School with 6:30 left in the first half.
And Will Motley getting assistance over here on the sideline just to get to the bench. 3rd down and about 7 for the Tigers here from their own 44. Sullivan in the shotgun. Got Johnston back there with him. Zach will stay in to block. Keegan has all day. Throws over the middle. Overshot his man. It's intercepted at the 40. Across the midfield stripe is Okari Baker down the right sideline, and he's got open running, and it's going to be another touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. There are no flags.
Well, John, Central came into this game with 7 interceptions, 2 of them for touchdowns, so now 9 interceptions on the year and 4 of them for touchdowns.
I didn't get the yard. It's about a 65-yard interception return. So the Jackets have their first lead of the night. And this night is starting to become a little nightmarish and a little remindful of the DeSales game.
Yeah, John, the defense has not given up a point in this game. It's the offense that's given up these 13 points. My boy Reggie White comes on to kick it like Fred Cox.
Reggie White will kick it. Dalquan Beeson will hold it. And this one's blocked. 13-7 Central. 6:05 to go first half. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. half. Central leading St. X 13-7 on the strength of 2 interception returns for touchdown. Tigers have it 1st and 10 at the Jacket 44. Here's Harris running left, hanging on for dear life is Braxton Young, the senior linebacker. Until some help got there. It's a gain of 1 for Harris. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
And Miles Harris getting the workload tonight for the Tigers.
Logan Davis was in there on that play, but Harris got the call.
He actually comes out.
Naperville, Illinois leading Trinity 10-0 at halftime. Wolves and Andrews of Bagu to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Straight drop for Sullivan. It's a wide receiver screen to Goodman. Gets a block, but a good tackle at the 40-yard line will bring up a 3rd and 6.
William
Marshall, the linebacker. Goodman trying to find some blockers, and does a good job by Marshall to play off the block and make the tackle.
Yeah, but and not on that one. I watched all the offensive linemen. They're going out and kind of trotting and looking. Go out and find somebody and put somebody on the ground. You know it's a screen. Don't wait for the receiver. Block your guy and stay with him.
3rd down and 6. Tigers in 4-down territory, barring some lost yardage here. Borho, the tight end, is in the backfield. Keegan's got 4 receivers in the pattern. Wants to throw, rolls right, throws back against his body. It's caught right at the 1st down marker, and it will be a 1st down for Lewis Woles. Hit and dropped immediately. He needed 6. He got 7. 1st down Tigers at the 33.
Yeah, and a nice job by Wells. But Sullivan bought himself some time, sprinted out to the left. One of the Jackets was chasing him. Just threw that little pass going left. Just squared the shoulders up enough on the run to get it to him, and the Tigers get a 1st down. And they trail 13-7 with 4 minutes left here in the first half. Central's intercepted 2 passes for touchdowns. They have not scored on the Tiger defense.
Tigers have all 3 timeouts left. 1st and 10. They've spotted actually at the 34-yard line. Handoff Harris running right. Gets a block from Borho. Gets another block from a receiver. Fights his way down near the 25-yard line. Gain of about 9. It'll be 2nd and short for the Tigers.
And, John, we didn't talk about it, but the Jackets with a new look this year with the gold or yellow helmets. They've been black over the years pretty much, and nice look, but Tigers get it down to 2nd and 1 at the Central 25-yard line. Clock runs 3:30 left here in the first half.
Jalen Borho with a nice block that time from the tight end spot. He'll stay in, line up tight end to the left. 3 receivers that way as well. Here's Harris, 1st down and more across the 20, drags a tackler down to the 15-yard line, a gain of 10. Tigers in the green zone for the 2nd time tonight, and it's 1st down at the 15-yard line.
Well, a nice job up front by the Tiger offensive line, but Miles Harris just getting through the hole and finding some ground to run, moving the chains.
2 receivers to the left. Wolves is the widest. Goodman is over there. Now Lyons joins those 2. On 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Harris running left. Cuts inside. Gets a nice block from one of the pulling linemen. It was Chase Parham, the guard, out in front of him, and he falls forward to the 10, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, a whistle. And we have an injured jacket. We have a yellow jacket down on the ground. And slow to get up. We'll try to get the number for you when we can. That is actually William Marshall, the junior linebacker, whose name we've called a lot here tonight.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's all over the place. And Central doesn't quite have the numbers St. X does, but they got guys playing both ways, and hate to see anybody go down. But, John, Tiger offense getting going, running the ball a little bit better here in the 2nd quarter with Miles Harris.
And as we look down, we see Anthony Moretti in the street clothes. He is in Miles Harris' ear, Tony, this whole night. He's over on the bench with him right now. And that is good to see the senior say, hey, look, here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, here's what I would do. Just give your teammates a few suggestions. Even though you're hurt and you're out for the game, no reason you can't contribute.
Yeah, you know it's killing him standing over there when he knows he feels like he probably could be playing.
So the Jackets still down. We will take a break, come back, 2:48 to go in the half. Central leading 13-7. Tigers threatening. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Welcome back. Brother Thomas More Stadium. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. 2:48 to go first half here on the strength of 2 interception touchdown returns, one of 54 yards and one of 57 yards. Central leads St. X 13-7 here. Tigers threatening. They have a 2nd and 5 at the Jacket 10-yard line. William Marshall still down on the field. They have actually brought the Gator truck out. They're getting the sleeve to put on his leg, and that's not a good sign, Tony.
No, John, it's not.
Jim Brinkman, did you see what happened down there to William Marshall?
Yeah, actually, I was watching him, and Marshall calls out a lot of the calls on the defense at middle linebacker. So he basically stepped up, and this was the play that Miles Harris dove. Yeah. And he basically got glanced, and Marshall got taken down by one of the linemen. But I don't think we're going to see a repeat of the Aaron Rodgers, put him on the cart. I think this is a little more serious injury.
Yeah, Will Motley for the Tigers, a receiver, caught one over the middle earlier and got his bell rung. He is still seated in the exact same spot he was seated in earlier without his helmet in his hand. I saw Dr.
Piper?
No, the other one.
McCormick.
Oh, Dr. McCormick over there talking to the other one. Over there talking to Will Motley. So I certainly don't expect to see him back in here. And of course, Bryson Harkins, Tony. We can look down there. He's got the bag of ice. He's got the it sitting right on top of his foot there, and he is such a threat. And with Andre Coleman out, you just get thinner and thinner at that position.
Yeah, the big play receivers and Coleman and Harkins, neither one in the game. We really haven't seen him get the ball to Eric Lyons. We expected to see Desmond Andrews-Abagu catch the ball, but we've been in a delay here because, unfortunately, the Central linebacker, William Marshall, is still down. But we got a 13-7 game with 2:48 left. Central's 2 scores have been on interceptions, and one of them was just a sensational one-handed catch. But when Central's intercepted the pass, it's been done. Tiger faithful giving a big round of applause as they get William Marshall up on the Gator.
Trying to check on a few scores here. Moore, who I talked about on another show earlier tonight, they are down at Johnson Central tonight, which is not an easy place to go play. And the undefeated Mustangs trail 21-7 to Johnson Central midway through the second quarter there. DeSales at last check, Tony, 14-0.
21's the last I saw.
21-0 with 7 minutes to go till halftime. DeSales leads Fern Creek. That game out at the Creek tonight. This DeSales team, upcoming games, they've got a couple of easy district games before Christian Academy comes calling, and it looks like those two teams, in all likelihood, undefeated as they head into that rivalry game, that district rivalry game.
Yeah, and over on Shelbyville Road at halftime, Trinity trails the Red Hawks from Naperville, Illinois, 10-0 at halftime.
And you can't believe everything you read on Twitter. We're not dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
But it looks like Trinity has gone to third-string quarterback Bradley West. So they scored 3 against Mayo last week. Big goose egg at halftime tonight. Jeremiah Smith had the concussion, but he has been I think he played last week. I'm assuming he's playing tonight. Luke McGuire has been out. You don't know when he's going to be back. He was on crutches during the Warren Central game. So,
Tight end Raculia last week did not play.
So you just
mash unit. But the Tigers are too
as well. But I don't know, something about these Catholic schools this year. They're getting beat up.
Well, we hope William Marshall's okay as they start to take him off the field. We'll get back to football here in just a minute with 2:48 left, and Tigers trying to get back on the board to take the lead here late in the second quarter.
And that's a big loss here. You hate to see anybody get hurt, but William Marshall, as Jim Brinkman pointed out, Tony, he was calling out the defensive signals, and he'd been in on a number of tackles here tonight. Yeah,
he's a junior, 6 foot 225, and a good-looking athlete making plays out there. So now Tigers are going to get the ball at the Central 10-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 5 when we get going here. We'll see what the Tigers do. They've relied heavily on Miles Harris here on this drive.
2:48 left here in the first quarter. Or first half, excuse me, not the first quarter. And it is 13-7 Central. Tigers come out 2nd and 5 at the Central 10, and it is Doug Bodine.
Now the Tigers are going to run it.
He's got Logan Davis to his left, or is that Harris? No, that's Logan Davis. And Zach Johnson to his right. One receiver to the left, two to the right. Four-man front for the Yellow Jackets. On 2nd and 5, Bodine faked it to Davis, kept it, 2-yard loss.
Boy, what a play by number 27, Aaron Gibbs. He read that play that was the read option, and I think actually Bodine made the right read. It looked like he was going.
If he gives it to Davis, it's a loss.
Yeah, and just a great play by the Central cornerback. Boy, he ate that play up. So now Tigers put themselves in 3rd and 8, and Keegan Sullivan comes back in the game.
Same formation here, Davis and Johnston.
Watch for Eric Lyons coming across the middle.
2 to the left, 1 to the right on 3rd and 7 from the 12. Here comes Wolves in motion. Keegan wants to throw, looks over the middle, has all day. Now it's breaking down, and now he's sacked back at the 25-yard line, and he takes you out of field goal range.
John, they only had one guy down the field. Everybody else was up towards the line of scrimmage. I see Logan Davis, I see Lewis Wolves, and I see one of the other receivers. He had nobody. He was looking down the field, and he had nobody. So Tigers had no option but to go for it.
It is hard to get timeout Central. That's their 3rd. They're trying to save a little clock here with 1:42 to go in the half. We'll keep it right here. It's hard to get any tempo going, Tony, when you're putting quarterbacks in and out.
I agree. I know you don't want to play Keegan Sullivan all the time. You're afraid of that finger. You know he's not going to run the ball. But they gave him great protection, and nobody's open, and guys have to shake their guys in those situations. And I really don't think this is a good timeout by Central, John, because Central's offense has not been what's got them on the board. It's been their defense. And are they going to get aggressive if they stop the Tigers right here? I don't think so. I think I'd want to be winning. Oh,
he's going to line up for a 42-yard field goal. Now, he missed a 20-yarder in overtime against Bowling Green. He missed a 23-yarder at DeSales.
I've watched him place kick, and he's got a leg.
42-yard attempt out of the hold of Jude Carlin. This one straight on. Good snap, good hold. He's got it short. Nope, good. Yeah, that tells you where my 54-year-old eyes are. Just got over the crossbar, and a 42-yard field goal from Jeff Sexton, and that's got to do a lot for that kid's confidence.
Oh, it does. And they know he's a good kicker. He just has never kicked at this level. So I think that, as much as anything, was trying to be a confidence builder, plus 3 points. And now the Tigers trail with 136, 13-10 to Central. But Jeff Sexton didn't have to get over by much, and it didn't, but it counts the same.
The referees kind of their knees were buckling, wondering if it was going to get there. And it couldn't have been a 43-yard field goal, I don't think, Tony.
No, but our angle up here is kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Watching you, I don't know if it was good either.
Jim Brinkman, I thought it was short of the crossbar, but obviously I was wrong.
Don't ever doubt referees, John.
I guess that's all you have to say about that. All right, I'm turn your mic off, no problem. 13-10. Central with the lead after the Sexton field goal, and Jeff will kick off now. 1:36 to go in the half.
Out on her lane, got an update on that game. Ballard leads Manual 14-0 with 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
And Aiden Robbins, Tony, the offensive line must not be helping him at all. He had 9 carries for 19 yards the last time I checked, the U of L signee. Sexton kicks this one high, but it's going to come up short at the 11-yard line, taken by Peyton, one of the guys who ran the interception back. Nice open field tackle at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, 39,
Yep,
Jake D'Antoni.
Jake D'Antoni, the safety, who just
great open field tackle.
Collared Peyton at the 22. Now, the Tigers do have all 3 timeouts left here, Tony, so if Central doesn't get anything or goes backwards here, you might expect a timeout from Coach Kevin Wallace. Malik Goodall will bring his team directly from the sideline. Well, they went to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to huddle up. 1:32 left here in the first half. 1 receiver goes to the right, 2 to the left. Now 2 each way. Williams in the backfield. He'll split out wide to the left. Empty backfield. This is a running play, boys. Baker in motion. Running to the right is Goodall. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got about 8 before he's dropped by Cameron Sams. Good blocking at the point of attack. 2nd down and 2.
And I think what Central thinks is we're going to run the football, but we have enough quickness and speed. If we can bust one, good things can happen, and Goodall can pick them up.
Tigers will get the ball to start the second half. 4 receivers again. Goodall wants to throw. Straight drop. Has time. Now it breaks down, rolling to his right, and he is finally pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock.
Ball carried by number 1.
Boy, he avoided a couple of Tigers. I think Houlihan,
Tackled by number 55.
finally the guy that knocked him out of bounds. Varga missed him. Richard Bascom missed him right over on the sideline. The clock did stop, and it saves the Tigers a timeout. It's a loss of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Well, Patrick Ohm was the guy in space that came up from his linebacker spot originally and got a hold of him and spun him around where he got help. And, boy, I tell you, when Goodall gets out in the open like that, John, it scares you. But if you stop him here, you call a timeout and get the football back, because Central does not punt the ball very well.
4 receivers again on 3rd and 7, and he does want to throw again. Quick throw to the right. Caught by Baker, first down. Stays in bounds, knocked down by James Taylor.
Central in a hurry.
Gain of 10, 1st and 10 at the 35, and they're at the line of scrimmage with 47 seconds left in the half. And looks like they want to throw. Dangerous here. You got the lead. Pressure comes, throwing to the right. It is caught on the sideline, short of the first down by Ukari Baker. He steps out at about the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 8. 39 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, John, they're throwing safe passes, but if I'm a Tiger linebacker, I might try to jump one of these.
2nd down and 2. Straight drop. Pressure comes. No flag. Boy, I thought that was a hold. Instead, Goodall gets the first down out to the 45-yard line. No more. Gain of 2. Good job. That time as Hale Bowler kept him in his sights and brought him down.
Central's out of timeouts, too.
They actually mark it short. It's 3rd and inches. Clock continues to run. Now it stops. And now they're going to say, what are they going to say?
Do they want to measure?
Tommy Weber says first down. Well, the Tigers
Is
got
the ball touching the line?
Tigers got to, yes, it is. Tigers got a break there, actually, Tony, because you got about 8 seconds off the clock that you wouldn't have if they'd originally given him a first down. Now the clock starts back up. Ball snap, throwing high down the left side. It is caught, drilled immediately. First down yardage. Caught by DeAndre Howard. Pate brings him down at the 42.
Clock getting ready to start.
Clock getting ready to start with 11.7 to go in the half. It does start. Central runs about 3 seconds before they snap it. Now getting through the line of scrimmage and trying to get around the edge to the 30. The clock is going to run out. And running out of bounds is Goodall at about the 21-yard line, but that'll end the half. 13-10 Central with the lead. We'll keep it here, and Jim Brinkman will try to chase down the head man. And we'll talk to him if I can find Jim with my binoculars.
Well, I'm interested to see what Coach has to say about the first half.
Let's go down to Jim Brinkman.
All right, Coach, interesting first half. What's your impressions on the offense?
If we keep from turning over, I guess we'd be okay. We've, had a ball come right off our hands. It should have been caught. It ends up being a pick six, and then Keegan made a bad throw. Those things are going to happen. I mean, I'm proud that we came back and scored down there. I wish we'd have gotten 7 instead of 3, but we just got to come back out and play the second half. I think our defense has been pretty good. We've limited 14. We've limited, their quarterback's so slippery. And what we've got going on right now is we've almost run out of wide receivers. I mean, we've got to go in and take a good look at our different packages that we have and make sure that we've got our personnel lined up.
Defensively, you mentioned that your defense played pretty well, except for, obviously that last drive there.
I mean, that's just prevent stuff. Yeah. I mean, you still want to give up a big play.
Let him go.
And how healthy is Keegan Sullivan?
He says he's pretty good shape. I mean, we're not going to sprint him out or anything. But we just got to get a little bit out of both of them.
Well, you get the ball to start the second half.
Yep. Let's hope we can do something good with it.
All right, John, we'll kick it back to you. It's Central 13, Tigers 10. Let's kick it back to you and Tony.
Thank you, Jim. And Kevin Wallace wanting to get to his team, Tony, because he's right. He's got to find out who's going to be wide receiver in the second half.
Yeah, they are banged up. They're banged up at wide receiver. They move the ball better, but they've just got to get it clicking, John.
We'll take a break. Eye Care Institute halftime report is next. 13-10. Central with the lead over St. X here at the break. You're listening to St. X High School football, the Bissett Impact Sports Radio Network. At halftime, Suzanne and Catherine Glazer come by to say hello. You know, Mike's still barred from the booth, Tony, after, well, it's an incident we can't talk about, right?
Well, yeah, we will not. But
good,
no, we
good
spent
to see the Glazer family.
Suzanne spent a lot of time up in the press box with us.
Yes, she has. 13-10, 2 defensive touchdowns for Central, interception returns for touchdown. They showed their athleticism on those 2 pick sixes One was an Odell Beckham-like catch after a tip ball, and the second one, a bad throw, as Kevin Wallace said, into coverage. But both interceptors, Tony, they took off like they were shot out of a cannon. Speed kills, and they got a lot of speed on that Central defense.
Yeah, and you're looking at offensive linemen trying to make a play on guys that are flat flying down that field. But this Central team, I just told you off the air, 3A, this is a good football team right here. They've got some great quickness on offense. Defensively, they've been impressive. They've been really impressive on defense, and we see why. They had had a couple shutouts, gave up a few points, and then Ballard last week scored 27. But I know one of the scores was on against the offense, and Ballard is leading Manual out there 14-0, and they lost their quarterback, Austin Carr.
The difficult part when you're trying to score points is when you're going from one quarterback to another. I think Central kind of feels, okay, if number 18's in there, they're throwing the football. If number 15's in there, we can stack it up against the run. Does Kevin Wallace have to pick a quarterback and just go with it, or does he just keep going back and forth with this?
My thought process is if you're going to play Keegan Sullivan tonight,
play him.
You play Keegan Sullivan, and you work off of Keegan Sullivan. You don't bring Doug Bodine in the game when you're going to run the football. And actually, the read option has not been effective anyway. Douglas
Bodine with the only Tiger touchdown as Keegan Sullivan replaced him on the second drive of the game for the Tigers, drove St. X down to the 1-yard line. Then Bodine came in, went under center, and had a 1-yard touchdown run. They also got a very impressive 42-yard field goal from Jeff Sexton. As I mentioned, he missed a couple short ones early in the year. You said it. He can kick the ball. He's shown he can kick the ball in warm-ups, and that's got to be a confidence builder for the St. X special teams.
Oh, huge. Like I said, this is a guy who hasn't played football, hadn't been in this situation, and they have confidence, and they're trying to build it, and that will help a ton.
Trying to keep track of Andy Schulten's St. X soccer team tonight. They're in Evansville playing McCracken County. St. X last week, I mentioned they were getting ready to head to Xavier University up in Cincinnati to take on the number 2 team in the country, St. Ignatius out of Cleveland. St. X is ranked 5th in the country in the latest high school poll. I don't know how these high school polls work, but Tigers ranked 5th in the country. They and St. Ignatius played to a 1-1 tie last week up in Cincinnati. So the Tigers now 11-0-1 heading in tonight. I did see an early goal. They led 1-0 over McCracken County. They're playing in Evansville tonight. They'll play Evansville, I think it's Evansville Rights, although Alan Donoff tweeted out Evansville Memorial. Andy Schulten told me it was Evansville Wright tomorrow. They're playing a team from Evansville that's ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana tomorrow. So Andy Schulten and the Tigers soccer team, they never shy away from good competition. Good luck to them. As far as Tiger JV and freshman football goes, the both teams beat Central this week. The JVs won 21-13 at St. X on Monday, and then the freshmen went down to Central yesterday and put it on the Jackets 42-14. They'll both be in action tomorrow. JV and freshmen. Freshmen will play at 11, and the JVs at 1. Tigers travel to Cincinnati to take on the Moeller Crusaders. We'll check some other scores, see what we can find out. I want to say hi to Lori Hendricks listening in tonight. Just got a text from her. I'm glad somebody's listening. Tara Burke is listening, right? And Lori Hendricks is listening. As far as we know, we got 2 listeners tonight. But in any event, second half coming up, 13-10. Central leads the Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. Here's Tony Burke. 13-10 Central with the lead over St. X. Tigers will get the ball to start the second half. A couple other scores to look at. Mayo leads Western 22-0 at halftime. Danville over Wagner 20-0 at the half. DeSales leads Fern Creek 23-0 at the half. Trinity trailing Naperville of Illinois now 17-0. The Rocks threatening to score. St. X Soccer
turned
leads
it over in the end zone.
St. X Soccer leads 6-1 over McCracken County now with looks like about 17 minutes to play in Evansville. So you're saying Tony Trinity just turned it over?
Yes, sir.
And hello to Randy Cordray. You know,
Hey,
anybody that's listening that wants to text me or Tony, we will say hello to you. We're not, this is equal opportunity. You tell me you're listening, I'm going to say hi to you on the air. And you got a special something for somebody. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's something going on Sunday. I think it's the 16th of this month. That's my 24th wedding anniversary. And I know my wife has been.
That's what's going on.
No, we've gone out the night before. But no, I just wanted to say happy anniversary to my wife Tara, who's listening. I get to do this because she lets me do it, and she's a keeper.
It is a soccer final now. St. X 7, McCracken County 1. They approved a 12-0-1.
All right, Bruce Johnson, state champion in 1981 baseball team with me. Sending a tweet, sending a text
and
out.
if you don't have our numbers, you can either text Randy Cordray or Bruce Johnson or Lori Hendricks or Tara Burke. They'll give you our number, and you can text, let us know you're listening. Boyle County leads Collins 40-0 at halftime. And on the other side of the river, Floyd Central 16-0 over Jeffersonville late in the first half there. 13-10, Central leads the Tigers here. Both teams heading back out on the field. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. St. X will start on offense. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. No, they turn it on. Depends how many people are there if they can hear it.
Or visit Bissig.com. The Bissig Impact Group. Innovative, integrated marketing.
Welcome back. Brother Thomas More Stadium. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. 17-13 Tigers. And Jeff Sexton kicks one through the end zone, so the the Jackets will start at their 20. Impressive drive to come out of the second half, Jim Brinkman.
Yeah, I wasn't inside the locker room, but I would bet that the offense basically got a little talking to that. Hey, we need to go score right away. Just another update. Another Goodman came off the field after that touchdown with cramps.
Yeah, we can deal with cramps. Yeah, maybe some paint peeling at halftime on the wall there. Goodall with the carry, going to be hit and dropped short of the first down. Jude Carlin came up and able to trip Malik Goodall up, and not until he got 8 yards to the 28-yard line. Malik Goodall, Tony, throws a nice little ball, but he's in there to run, and he does it very, very well.
Yeah, John, he's quick, man, and he shows it inside. And if you don't stay to the outside in your responsibility, you're going to be in big trouble. And he gets 8 there on first down.
Second down and 2 at the 28. Baker comes in motion from left to right. This time Goodall will hand it off to Williams. Big hole, has a first down and more out near the 40, and actually across the 40 before he's hauled down. Michael Houlihan in on the tackle at the 41. It's a gain of 13, just a hard off-tackle run. First and 10 Central. And the Jackets trying to answer quickly right back after the Tigers score. Goodall will keep it, running right behind his running back, and Houlihan missed him, and Patrick Owen will bring him down to 46. It's a gain of 5, second and 5. He's quick, and he runs north-south.
Yeah, it's just a case of when he gets in between guys and he gets a step, they're so quick back there. They have a heck of a time trying to make a play.
We see Bryson Harkins just running up and down the sideline, trying to make cuts.
Grant Goodman stretching out.
Trying to fool the coaches as well. You know, I'm going to walk like there's nothing wrong here. Second down, and we'll call it 6. Ball at the 45. Wanting to throw this time. Throwing over the middle. It is caught. Now running backwards behind the first down marker. He had it originally, then dives for it. Dalquan Beeson, the senior, with the catch. And he's going to be a little shy of the first down by about a half yard. It'll be third and short for the Jackets.
Well, Goodall did a great job. He looked off to the outside and made it look like he was going to go to the outside, and then he hit his guy on the slant. So we're looking at 3rd and 1 from the 50-yard line. Just under 7 minutes left in the third. St. X leads 17-13 here at St. X High School.
Mick Walsh in there, defensive end for the Tigers on 3rd and short. Baker in motion from right to left. Run play here, and going through the gap from the blitzing linebacker is Goodall. He's got the first down easily and more. And actually it was Walsh, the defensive end, Tony, came firing through there, and Malik Goodall just ran where he was and got about 9 yards. They move it to the 41, 1st and 10 Jackets. 6.5 to play here in the third quarter.
You're not going to see many guys all year long quicker than Malik Goodall.
I'm going to go ahead and 100% agree with you on that one. He's got Williams in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and an H-back. This time Williams will get the call. Big hole up the middle, 35. Tripped up as he crossed the 30. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle from Sam Borman at the 27, a gain of 14. And that's a helmet on a helmet, and Tigers just getting beat here.
I'm watching it right there. Boy, they just destroyed the St. X D line right there. And then before you know it, you look up, and Williams is in the defensive backfield. And now Central moving the football here all the way down to the Tiger 27-yard line.
Tigers have their number 2 line in there. It's Andrioli, Petrie, and Walsh. 1st and 10 for the Jackets. Williams 1 yard behind Goodall. Goodall will keep it, run behind Williams. Big hole. It closes quickly as Borman comes up to make the hit, short of the 20. But it's, it's 4 or 5 yards before anybody gets near Malik Goodall. He got 6 on the play.
All I did was watch the O-line, John. They destroyed the St. X D line, and now the Tigers rotate the two Bascom's and Varga back into the game. Nothing against the guys that were in there, but right now Central's just was manhandling them up front.
2nd down and 4. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now DeAndre Howard comes in the backfield. It's an offset I. Baker in motion. And a whistle and a flag. And I think the wide receiver over here, DeAndre Howard, moved. And Tony, that's going to be a running play. There is no excuse for your wide receiver to move at all.
No, and it's kind of like the nose tackle. You've been told all your life to watch the football. Well, you're a wide receiver. Yeah, you want to get off the ball quick, but more than likely that was a running play, and you don't, you just got to get out and shield your guy. Tiger receivers tonight have done a great job of going out and blocking and shielding. That's all you're doing as a receiver.
Butler leads Doss 48-13 late in the 4th quarter as we try to keep you updated. So 2nd and 4 now turns into 2nd and 9 for the Jackets. Running first to the left, now back to the right is Goodall. He's got some room, spins out of a tackle, and falls forward inside the 20, short of the first down. Well, he started left, Tony, then went back to the right, and there was just nobody there.
Yeah, you got to hold containment on the outside. I'm watching it. And the outside linebacker just couldn't get off of him quick enough, and then Harrison Pate comes up and just gets a piece of him, or he might be going into the end zone. But, John, it's a mismatch when he's out in space. I don't care who's out there with him. He's so quick.
He's inside the 19. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Yellow Jackets. 2 in the backfield with Goodall. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it to Williams up the middle, push back, fights forward, has the first down. Needed 2, got 3. Cameron Sams up off the bottom of the pile to make the tackle, but impressive drive here for Central, and they've only thrown, I believe, 1 pass on this drive. It is all smash mouth football here.
Yeah, and tune up the clock here in the 3rd quarter. We just go under 4 minutes. St. X leads 17-13 over Central, but Central threatening here. They do not have an offensive touchdown in this game.
They do have Goodall at quarterback, who's been fantastic tonight, and Makai Williams, the running back. It's a handoff and hit and dropped. Hale Bowler, he looked like he could have just reached in and grabbed the football because it was a stretch play, Tony. They hand it to Williams, and Bowler's there at the same time as a handoff.
Yeah, he came from his outside linebacker spot. The slot back did a horrible job of trying to block him, just put his arms out, and Bowler blew the play up. So that helps the Tigers out a little bit, makes it 2nd and 13 from the Tiger 19-yard line. Central trying to get some offensive points on the board. They trail by 4.
Baker goes wide to the right. Beeson and Hayes are wide left on 2nd and long. Wanting to throw, straight drop, throws to the right, and it's out of the reach of Ukari Baker. I think Goodall hurried that, maybe thought the pressure was getting there before it did. Hale Bowler, who just made the tackle on the previous play, was the closest defender for the Tigers.
Yeah, one of the Tigers, I didn't get the number. I think it might have been Alex Bascom, got a little bit of push and got his arms up, and I think that distracted Woodall, who threw the ball incomplete.
Third down, 13. Probably 4-down territory. I can't imagine they trust their field goal team. Tigers show blitz. Bad snap, ball on the ground, and Goodall is sacked. It is Patrick Owen who made the hit, and that was, I think, you looking at the replay, Tony, he wasn't ready for the snap, and it wasn't a good one even if he was.
No, it actually hit the running back who started to move over.
Twice.
But I think what happened was Owen and Sams both came up, and he got anxious, and the center might have snapped it on the wrong just a little bit early and hit the guy that was getting ready to go block, I think, for Goodall.
And I think Marvin Dantzler realizes this is a big play, so he will use first time out of the half for Central. 2:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter. St. X with a 17-13 lead. The ball back at the 24-yard line now. It's 4th and 18 for the Yellow Jackets, and they're obviously going to go for it.
Yeah, and we talked about it, John, that they've had 2 interceptions for a touchdown. So the St. X defense, even though Central's moved the football pretty well, the defense has shut them out. So with a 4-point lead, Central is looking. I mean, we've seen their place kicking. They're not going to be kicking many field goals. So if you're the Tiger defense, you got to know the whole goal is they don't get past the 6-yard line. Now, you don't want to give up a touchdown, but if you keep them in front here and make a play, you get the football back.
Manuel with a ball back, and they are tied with Ballard now, 14-all over at Ballard. So come back for the Crimsons. We'll keep you updated. 4th and 18 at the 24. Tigers show blitz. They are coming. Straight drop for Goodall. Throws high and deep down the middle, and it is caught. What a great catch.
Wow.
Between two defenders by Dalquan Beeson at the 3-yard line. Unbelievable catch.
Well, John, I'm watching the replay right here. The ball's thrown right in between the two safeties. They both go up in an unbelievable catch between Borman and Jude Carlin, which they were in good position to make a play, just a better play offensively.
Gain of 21 on 3rd and 18. Keep that play on 4th and 18, Keep that play in your memory bank. That could be a difference maker. Goodall under center. He wants to run. He does run to the right. He's close, but I think short. Just got behind that offensive line. Tigers, they brought everybody up that time, and still able to get a couple of yards was Malik Goodall. 2nd and goal inside the 1.
Well, they're running behind 280 and 295 over there.
Tigers got 10 at the line of scrimmage here. It's going to be the same play, and Goodall pushed from behind by his running back. Did he get in? Yes. Touchdown Central. They regain the lead. Malik Goodall from a yard out. So a terrific drive by the Tigers to open the half, and an equally impressive drive by the Yellow Jackets on their first possession.
And, John, you hit the nail on the head. That one play, they ran the ball almost the whole time. They did a great job with mainly Goodall and Williams, and then all of a sudden they hit one big play on 4th down that is right now gives them a 2-point lead.
19-17, and
my boy White.
Reginald White, as Rob Schweitzer keeps saying, will try to make it a 3-point lead, and I think he did. 20-17. Nope, no good. Boy, I'm good on these calls.
You're all over them.
I'm all over these calls. 19-17. We'll keep it right here with 1:40 to go in the quarter. Well, they've had one PAT blocked, and they've missed one, or they'd have a 4-point lead. Jim Brinkman, down to you. How impressive was that Central drive?
I'm sorry you broke up a little bit. I think the St. X Rage Cage has added about 6 more amplifiers tonight. They are extremely loud. So go ahead and repeat your question, John.
Good answer from Central. Give them credit. They dominated the line of scrimmage on that drive.
Yeah, I don't think that St. X has the corner on the market on halftime speeches. I think Coach Dantzler did a really good job of talking to the offense, saying, hey, we got a 0. We need to go out there, and, if we lose the lead, we need to respond.
Harrison Pate will get his 4th attempt at a kick return from the 15. Started inside, now back outside, and he's dropped as he crosses the 20-yard line. Not much more than that. The Tigers will start right there, trailing 19-17. Tony, that was a 7-minute, 17-second drive for the Yellow Jackets as well. They threw 2 passes, one on 4th and 18, which the ball was thrown perfectly, but Tigers had a shot to knock it down.
Yeah, and it was a phenomenal catch. I watched the replay. It was good defense, and I believe it was Carlin went high, Borman went after the ball, and they just had it. But a quick third quarter here because both teams have controlled the ball. From over on Shelbyville Road, Trinity now trails 31-0 to Naperville.
Unbelievable.
37, I was just updated.
DeSales leads Fern Creek 30-0. 1st and 10 Tigers. Keegan Sullivan in at quarterback. He's got Miles Harris behind him at the 22. Here's Harris running right. Can't make anybody miss. Well, he had one tackler in front of him. It was Darrell Howard, the senior linebacker, and he brought him down after a minimal gain. Actually, no gain at the 23. It's 2nd and 10.
Now, if you're the St. X offense, you gotta move the football and answer that. That whole quarter was pretty much ball control by both teams. Both teams on the board, but Central does have the 2-point lead here late in the third quarter.
3 receivers to the left, all bunched together on 2nd down and 10. That's the short side of the field. Keegan takes a snap. Play action, wants to throw it over the middle. He's got a man. It's Goodman. He breaks one tackle. and across the 45 before he's brought down. That is a great job. That's Eric Lyons, excuse me. Great job by Lyons of hanging on. He knew he was going to take a shot, Tony, and he hung on to the football, took the shot, and actually got about 10 more yards.
Yeah, Peyton hits him, but he gets away from him. But I like that. It's play action, but it's a quick pass, so they don't hold on to the ball very long.
Gain of 23 to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10. Here is Harris again up the middle, and that just hasn't worked. No gain on the play. Well, maybe a couple as he fights his way out near the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And I was really thinking the Tigers would go play action again because they're kind of sitting on 1st down. It's been a run on 1st down. After they just hit that, they're not coming back with that. Well, I would have went right back to it.
We'll see if they get a play in here. 16 seconds to go in the quarter. They will as Sullivan takes a snap. Play action, throw it over the middle again. It's Lyons again, same play, same result. He's inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Is a gain of 15, and it's 1st down Tigers. When we come back for the 4th quarter, I don't think they'll get another play in. They won't. 19-17, Central leads it. 12 minutes to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans.
Almost belched there.
You know what play I'd run to start the 4th quarter?
That one? That same one? Todd Powers. It's going to take a comeback for the Tigers to win their 2nd game of the season. They trail Central 19-17. Each team scored on their first possessions of the 2nd half, Tony. This is only the 3rd possession of the half, and St. X driving again, 1st and 10 at the Central 37.
Yeah, it's imperative for the Tigers to keep moving and get some points on the board here to get this lead back. They trail by 2.
Miles Harris in the backfield, Keegan Sullivan the quarterback. 3 receivers to the left on 1st and 10. Tigers with a long snap count. Jackets don't jump, so Keegan and the boys look to the sideline to get the new play. Same formation. Sullivan with a handoff to Harris up the middle. He's got some room this time. Tried to be tripped up.
You got to throw a flag,
one of the defenders. A sliding trip attempt. In any case,
I guess you got to get him.
Yeah, he missed him completely. Harris gets down inside the 30 to the 27. It's a gain of 10 and a 1st down. And that time, they ran it up the middle and got some yardage.
Well, Central went zone that time. They brought 2 guys deep, and they were off the line of scrimmage. Good call by the Tigers.
Sullivan takes a snap on 1st down. Here is Harris running wide right. He's got some room and cut down as he crossed the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 4 on the play. Good job by Beeson to come up and stop him from getting any more. It looked like he was going to get a lot more there.
He did. He bounced it to the outside.
Harkins is back in the game, Tony.
He's been over here pleading to go back in, running for him. So we'll see what the Tigers. They have an opportunity if he's healthy to take a shot, but I don't think they will.
Gain of 5 actually to the 22. Logan Davis in at running back now. He'll get the call. Off tackle. He's got some room. 1st down inside the 15. He's had a couple of quality runs here in this 2nd half, Tony. It's a gain all the way down to the 11. Gain of 11 for Logan Davis and a 1st down. Tigers in the green zone.
Well, the offensive line did a great job right there, but Logan Davis patient, getting him behind his blocks, and Parker Knoll gets, I believe it was Parker Knoll got in front of him.
Shotgun for Sullivan. He will look to the sideline now and get the play call.
And John will run right at him because they're in zone again.
Davis in the backfield. You are right. He gets the call, runs left, slips out of 1 tackle, but not the 2nd, and that is Jacoby Doherty who brings him down at about the 9-yard line. Gain of 2 will bring up 2nd and 8, and is it time for the Eric Lyons slant pass again?
Well, it's been effective. Let's see if the Tigers spread them out and how they play the defense.
Lions is in there with Harkins and Goodman wide to the right.
I'd run the play. They had a touchdown for a little while ago, John. It's set up.
Johnston touchdown to the left. Play action. Here's a slant and
It's a pass
incomplete.
interference.
And no flag
Wow.
as Eric Lyons looked like his arm got pulled backwards by Braxton Young, but no flag. It's 3rd and 8. Now, if you're the Tigers here, Tony, you got to run something safe. You can throw it, obviously, but you can't turn it over. You're in field goal range.
Didn't look quite as bad on the replay. I think the ball was out in front of him, and as he reached, he reached up and he did grab him, but I think the ball had already maybe gone by him. Hard to tell, but we'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Confusion here as Sullivan continues to look to the sideline for the play. 3rd and 8, ball at the 9. Keegan takes a snap, high snap, brings it down. It's a screen to Goodman. He catches it at the 14. He's dropped immediately. And that is Braxton Young again, the linebacker. That time it looked like Goodman had a tough time getting out of away from the defender to go after the football. But Jeff Sexton will come in, try to give the Tigers a lead here.
Well, what the defender did, he was in man, and when Goodman came back, he just trailed him. Nobody could get out and block him, and now Sexton going to try a 30-yarder.
Garland will hold it straight on right from the 20-yard line to give the Tigers the lead in this seesaw affair. Good snap, good hold, has plenty of leg on it, and it is good. 20-19, 9:33 to go. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network. This is 4-down territory. They mark it just outside the 20. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Jackets. Baker left, 2 receivers to the right. He does want to throw, looks for Baker. It's not there. Now wanting to run is Woodall, and a nice play that time by Peckinpah again. Stayed home, just kind of shadowed Malik Goodall and brought him down at the 20. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th and 9. Biggest play of the game coming up.
It is, and they hit the big one on 4th down last time, but Peckinpah worried me. I thought he wasn't going to get to his outside shoulder, but boy, he's made a couple really nice plays. Now it's up to the Tiger defense to get the ball back to the offense. If you want to win this football game, you got to get a stop right here.
Confusion over on the central sideline.
They've only got 1 timeout left too, so taking a lot of time.
They go to the right hash mark. And Goodall looks like he's just not in any hurry at all here. He's got 3 backs with him. First time we've seen Terrence Crawford in the game. Wanting to throw. High left side, and it's well overthrown. Intended for Beeson. Good coverage from James Taylor over there, Tony. But that never had a chance.
No, it was just all they wanted was man coverage over there. They got it what they wanted. They threw a corner route in the back of the end zone, and nothing there. And right there, James Taylor did what you want your back to do. Borman limping off the field. But what James Taylor did, John, is he just stayed in good position. He just positioned himself on the inside so the receiver could not come back.
It's a cramp for Sam Borman.
That's the good
news.
Well, the Tigers take over at their own 19-yard line, and I agree with what you just looked at me.
Throw it here.
Play action right here and try to hit them hard because they're in 1 deep coverage, and they're going to try to come up and play the run. You can see this right now.
3 to the right.
They're not even guarding one of the Tigers.
Empty backfield for Sullivan, so they're either going to throw it or run a jet sweep here. In motion comes Goodman. They throw it forward to him. He gets a great block, cuts back inside, and is hammered at about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 4. But Goodman's slow to get up there, Tony. He got destroyed after he made a really nice move. And I think this is a cramp.
Well,
yep.
He took a big hit from number 10, Darrell Howard Jr., but it was.
He looked like Darrell Howard Sr. on that play.
It was a great run by Goodman because when he came this way, John, he was on the short side of the field. It was a pass. They flipped it forward, and when he cut up, there wasn't much room to go, and he didn't want to go out of bounds. I mean, I know you're not playing the clock right now, but you still don't want to stop the play. When he cut it up, got about 4, boy, he just got destroyed.
Give him 5, actually, out to the 24. It'll be 2nd and 5. Jim, biggest hit of the game there?
I think the hit on
Motley, yeah.
Motley. Motley has been diagnosed in concussion protocol.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I also wanted to tell you that Sam Borman missed a lot of that drive because he was getting his left elbow taped up too. He did come in there, and the timeout that Central took, that really helped the St. X defense. They were gassed. Our water guys went out there, and all 11 of them just attacked them. You know, they were definitely gassed, but they rose to the for to turn the ball over, give the ball one more time to the offense to see if the offense can go down there and get some points. By the way, Bryson Harkins back in the game.
Good stuff from Jim Brinkman there. 2nd down and 5. Empty backfield again here for Sullivan. He hands it to Harris, running to the right, and nowhere to go. 5-yard loss, flag on the play in the area of holding, which will be declined. And you get conservative, Tony. This is not your offense.
And John, there's 5 minutes left in this football game. If you're worried about the clock right here, you're going to give up good field position to a Central team that's been moving the football, and they run that wide sweep. And I'm telling you, I watched the safety. He just ran with him the whole way. Tigers blocked it well, but the one guy wasn't blocked, and he's the guy that came up and made the tackle.
A lot of discussion here. We had a couple of flags, so I think you had a couple of holds here. But in any event, I'd be surprised if Central took this.
I would
because,
too.
They're not. It's going to be 3rd down back inside the 20. It'll be 3rd and long for the Tigers, 3rd and 11, actually. Eric Lyons will check in. Tigers look to the sideline. a little confused.
They got plenty of time. Just started the play clock.
So Johnston will go tight end to the right. 3 receivers to the left and Harris in the backfield.
No deep safety.
With Sullivan. Boy, you hit a slant or something here, you're going to go for a long way. Keegan looks. They've set up the screen, and it is caught across the 20, 25, 30, and a first down, and hauled out of bounds is Miles Harris. That had to be a perfect throw from Sullivan, Tony, and it was.
Well, it looked worse in the live motion. Watching the replay, it was set up very well, and he just put a little air under it and dropped it from this angle. It looked like that's one of them dangerous ones that could get picked off. But
big
great
first
play.
Down. Big first down, gain of 13 on 3rd and 11. Tigers will have a first down and can now think about running some clock at the 32. 4:38 to go, clock moving. Tigers lead it 20-19. Harris in the backfield, directly behind Keegan Sullivan. Keegan taking his time, watching the back judge. He'll hand it to Harris, running right. He's got some room, tripped up. Boy, nice job by Benjamin Bush, the junior linebacker. Just got enough of the feet of Harris, who looked like he had some room to roam.
And, John, I thought that was the play to go. I know it's easy to say up here, go play action, but that first down play, Central was looking for the run, and you got to catch them off guard, and you could not end this game, but stretch this thing out. Tigers lead by 1, 20-19, just under 4 minutes left in the football game.
It's a gain of 3 for Harris, 2nd down and 7. 2 receivers to the right, and Harkins alone to the left. In motion from left to right is Ogbagu. Handed to Harris, running left, trying to beat some tacklers, and he's just not going to do it. Got a yard to the 36 before he's hauled down, chased down actually by Austin Moore.
And, John, what's so huge to get a first down right here is because Central's only got 1 timeout left. We're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Tigers are in a 3rd and 6 situation. You get a first down here, basically, you can pretty much put this thing away.
It is a timeout by St. X here. We'll take one quickly as well with 3:13 to play. You're listening to St. X High School Football, Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my
Tim and Todd, and Douglas Bodine in at quarterback for the Tigers. 1:37 to go. Central now out of timeouts, trailing 20-19. Logan Davis in there. Bodine, quarterback draw up the middle. Used a little bit of clock. Ball came out. They say he was down.
Wow.
I think he was down.
But you have to protect the
football.
That's the most important thing.
Ball at the 43. So he got about a yard. It'll be 4th down for the Tigers. They'll punt it away, but they're going to let this clock run, maybe even take a penalty here to get it down as far as you can. It'll be under a minute before the Tigers kick it away. Remember, Central has no timeouts left.
John,
and Marvin Dancer can't be happy about that because they used a couple early in this half.
I would have set up and kicked it because when the clock keeps running and you kick it, it's continuous.
It's going to start back up. The only thing you're going to lose is 5 yards here. Unless Kevin Wallace calls a timeout, he does. Nope, delay a game. 52 seconds. That'll move it back to the 48-yard line. Now, Central's walking out like St. X called a timeout, but they did not. I'd just snap it right now. Because you don't want Ukari Baker, Tony, or Peyton.
This worries me.
Peyton or anybody to get their hands on the football. All right, Baker is the lone man deep for the Jackets. Austin Tiggy will kick it away.
And they're coming, John. They're not in any return.
Well, they're going to bring 8. High snap.
Get it out.
Tiggy gets it out of there. Great job. It's going to bounce at the 20. Let it roll. Don't touch it, fellas. Andrew Zabagu lets it roll just like the clock rolls. And finally a whistle with 38.9. That was ideal. That took 14 seconds off the clock. And Central will have it at the 15-yard line, a 33-yard punt with no return. That's just what the doctor ordered.
Well, Austin Teggy did a nice job of getting that ball out of there. They only had one guy back, and they were coming from the side that he had to go to kick the football.
Not the best snap either.
No. So now, John, Tigers, you have to get a little bit of pressure. I'm a guy that, in this situation, I think you rush 3, but you bring a linebacker from somewhere and just hope.
Late into the game there is Daniel Toste. All right, 1st and 10. Now, if you're the Jackets, you got to get first downs on every play because you can't have the clock continue to run.
Linebackers are way too far up right now.
Empty backfield for Goodall. Wants to throw deep. Now steps up into the pocket, lobs it incomplete into the sideline over the head of his intended receiver. That took about 6 seconds. 32.8 to go. And do you need a spy here for Goodall, Tony?
You know, John, I wouldn't be that worried about it because if he takes off running, unless he runs the length of the field, it's going to take a lot of time. Actually, that pass right there, if he hits it, he had a blocker in front of. There was 2 Central receivers over there. That could have been a nice play for him. Now, maybe one linebacker spies him, but the other one, in my opinion, should be 20 yards off the ball. I don't want him running backwards.
2nd down and 10, 32.8 to play. Tigers lead it 20-19. 2 receivers each way. Make it 3 to the left. Empty backfield. Pressure up the middle. Goodall rolls to the right. Wants to throw. Does throw. Has a man. Caught. Kept in bounds by Andrews Agbagu is DeAndre Howard. Now they'll move the chains with 25 seconds to go. And as soon as they do, they'll start the clock back up.
Tigers brought pressure that time, too.
Tigers need to turn around and play some defense here because Central's ready to snap the football. Clock starts under center. And Goodall spikes it with 19.9, so a waste of 5 seconds there. Well, 5.1 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the intentional spike.
Which I always think maybe you should put one guy down on the 10-yard line just in case.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't do it.
Not yet. 19.9, 2nd and 10. Now you have to also consider trick plays, hook and lateral. Something of that nature that Central might have up their sleeve to try to break somebody loose. 2 receivers come to the right. That's the short side of the field. 3 to the left.
Tigers, gosh, you got to get somebody out there to guard.
Yep.
We got 3 guys out there, and goodness.
Goodall ready to go. Takes the snap, high snap, throws to the left. It's going to be short and nearly intercepted. They're going to call it a catch. Unbelievable. At the 48-yard line, Tony, you got the replay here maybe. Central quickly to the line of scrimmage. I don't know how there's any way he caught that ball. Clock starts, and they spike it again with 12.8 to play and a flag, and that's going to be probably an illegal formation, if not a sideline warning on the Tigers. We shall see. Tommy Weber confers with his side judge. It is going to be an illegal shift against the Yellow Jackets. So that'll cost them 5 yards. If the Tigers take it, and there's no reason not to with 12.8 to go. So they move it back to the 43. It'll be 1st and 15 for Central. Make it the 44.
12.8 left on the clock.
And deeper than the deepest here. A whistle, and is St. X going to use the timeout? I think this is an official timeout here. They want to talk things over. Well, the clock stopped on the spike. This is not a penalty that's a dead ball penalty. So the clock was allowed to move. If you understand what I'm saying here, there was 14.5.
Yeah, it's not a legal procedure. It's an illegal shift.
As soon as they marked it, he took the snap, spiked it, 12.8. So you shouldn't reset it to 14.5. It's not a dead ball penalty. The play was allowed to happen.
And the Tigers have brought Patrick Owen almost on every play. He steps up in there and just to bring another rusher to put a little pressure, which I do like. But I'd like to see Cam Sands back off some. Him and Bowler.
This is wrong. They're going to change the clock, and this is wrong. And Tommy Weber's been doing this for 70 years. He should know better. He's talking to Kevin Wallace.
I think that's what Coach Wallace is saying. It was an illegal shift. It was not a legal procedure.
It was not a before the snap penalty.
And Alan Donhoff with the walkie-talkie out there. Get him out of there.
Yeah, he's gonna hurt us on time if he's around. He should run to his office right now, so he's not around.
He's calling the other official up. And this, I tell you what, I think this is a break maybe more for the Tigers.
Jim Brinkman, tell me what's going on down there with the Stripe guys.
Well, I'm kind of confused myself. I think it is in fact, a live ball penalty, illegal shift. So the play still continues. Yeah. So as he was, downing the ball, that time should be off. And I'm not sure exactly, whether we're live ball or dead ball. And Tommy's doing the right thing, going to both coaches and explaining, what's going on. So.
And I didn't see Alan Donhoff talk into his walkie-talkie, so I think it's going to stay at 12.8, Jimmy.
Right.
All right. Coach Dantzler, satisfied or not, he's gotten the explanation from Tommy Weber, and we're ready to go here. 1st down and 15 at the 44-yard line. Clock will start on the snap. Back to Goodall. Pressure comes, goes over the middle through the hands of Baker at the Tiger 45. Probably a good thing, because if he's tackled there, Tony, it's not a 1st down. The game's over.
You're right, John. Right now, Central has to do some type of gadget play.
Or chuck it up
Or
deep.
just chuck it up and hope.
And Tigers have to know, if somebody beats you, tackle them.
Well, Daquan Beeson thinks he was open running down the middle of the field. I think that was after the ball was thrown, though.
Well, but if somebody beats you, tackle them.
Exactly.
Don't let them catch a bomb here. It's only 15 yards in high school. Goodall's going to throw it down the left side, and it is incomplete at the 35-yard line with 3.8 to go. That'll bring up 3rd down. And the Jackets still 56 yards away from the end zone.
Well, the down doesn't matter anymore with 3.8. Now the Tigers take 4 defensive backs and put them across the field.
I don't know if I like them that deep, because it opens the middle there up for laterals.
That's why the linebackers and the outside linebackers all have to drop into those areas.
3.8 to go, 3rd and 15. Tigers trying to hang on here against Central. Goodall straight drop, throws to the right. It is caught. Beeson at the 50. Tigers chasing him chasing him backwards to the 40. He's down the left sideline, cuts it back inside, and he's dropped at the 40, and that'll do it. That play took way too long, but the St. X Tigers are going to hang on and win this one 20-19. I learned my lesson last week, so we're going to keep it right here, Jimmy, to get the coach. I am not about to make him wait 6 minutes worth of commercials for the interview. 20-19, Tony. Entertaining ball game.
It was, and give Central. I tell you what, that's a good Central football team. I know they lost last week to Ballard by a touchdown, but they hung in there all night long. Now, the Tiger defense gave up some yards, but they only gave up one score. There was two interceptions for touchdowns by the Jackets. Tigers prevail, and 20-19. You'll take them any way you can get them. 1 point, 20 points, 40 points, it counts the same. So Tigers get out of here tonight with a 20-19 win. They go to 2-2, and Central drops to 3-2.
And unlike last week, you get a win where there is pressure. There's pressure, and at the end of the game, you had to stop Central twice, and they did.
Yeah, and that was a scary last play. That looked like a play that should not have had anything, and all of a sudden, Beeson changes directions, and guys are chasing it, and it kind of scares you. But this is why Central plays 6A teams and 5A teams. They get better by doing it. When they get into their district and into the state tournament, Central is always a factor, and we saw why tonight.
Jimmy, give me a signal here. You don't have to talk, but give me a signal. Are you going to try to see if Coach Wallace wants to do the interview right now? And if he doesn't, give me a signal, and we'll take a break. 20-19, a couple of interception returns for Central. Tigers use Doug Bodine a lot. They use Keegan Sullivan a lot. Keegan with the big touchdown pass to Andrew Zagbagu, Tony, on that first drive of the second half. And really, that was the play that gave the Tigers the win tonight. And Jeff Sexton with a couple of big field goals.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Player of the game for me is Jeff Sexton, a guy that had struggled early on and kicked a 42 and a 30-yard field goal tonight, and the Tigers win by 1 point. So good to see Sexton have a good night. Tigers get a W.
And we'll see if Coach Wallace wants to talk to his team first, or if he wants to do a quick 2 or 3 question interview with Jimmy Brinkman. Let's see what he wants to do. Let's go on down to Jim, see what's up down there.
All right, Coach Wallace, an exciting win, 2019.
It's a win. And it might not have been pretty, but winning sure feels a whole lot different than losing, trust me.
Yeah. James Taylor made a tremendous play, stripping the ball from the wide receiver after a pretty good gain. He also made possibly a touchdown-saving tackle there. Your defense really responded.
They did, and we bent an awful lot, especially in the second half. Had a lot of bad things. I thought we thought through a lot of adversity injury-wise, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but defense came up big. They really only gave up one score all night long. And offensively, we put our defense in really bad shape. And we were able to just score barely enough points to win the football game. But how about Jeff Sexton? How about a guy that has, nobody's gone through more adversity than Jeff Sexton has. And for him to do what he did tonight is really special. It gives you a good feeling about what sports is all about how a kid can come back from just some devastating things happening to him. And then, we got to give him a lot of credit tonight.
Yeah, not to tattletale on somebody, but Bryson Harkins jumped off the training table with an ice pack and gave him a high five. So, he really responded to Jeff, after making that 42-yarder.
Our team ought to give him a hug because a lot of people, hung him out to dry for 2 weeks when things didn't go so well. Kicking's a lonely game.
All right. Any thought on PRP?
I'm going to enjoy this one for 24 hours, but it's a start of district play, and I hope our trainers can work some miracles because we got to get healthy.
Okay, I think Tony Burke's got some eligibility left.
Yeah,
you don't want John Spears.
No, he runs about like me, so I don't know if that's good or not.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Oh, Tony, a shot. You can outrun Kevin Wallace. Now, I can't, but you can outrun him.
I can still run. I just can't run very far.
Yeah, the dash has to be a single-digit number, right? All right, 2019 will come back. The Eye Care Institute post-game report is next. Tigers escaped tonight. They're 2-2. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.